One of the most admirable traits of an entrepreneur is their resilience and tenacity. And having a growth mindset really drives that resilience and tenacity, overcoming those obstacles. And when you get so many knockbacks as an entrepreneur, because the journey isn't just a flat trajectory or an upward trajectory, it is very much going round and round, up and down to a certain point. And it's about how you deal with those setbacks. We talk about our secret sauce a lot, and it's all around the growth mindset. What we measure is the outcome, the tangible things, the money, the jobs created, you can see it. We have so many interactions between them coming onto the program and finishing, and getting them to a point where they are investor ready, or they have grown their turnover or their profit. But actually, it's all those little things in between that are having the effect on the final result. So, and we haven't been able to measure that or say, this is what we do, this is how we do it. So being able to figure out a measurement of that growth mindset piece, that bit in the middle, is really key to demonstrate how we do things. So we took a sample of 200 entrepreneurs at their initial meeting with the hub and the enablers, which is at bootcamp, and they filled in a questionnaire that was very much around the mindset. Following up from that, we narrowed that sample down to 60 and looked at the behaviours. So it was very much around sentiment and analysis and speech, and what the language they were using was at the beginning versus the end. We lifted the aspects of our mindset of an entrepreneur, the road to success, our secret sauce, and the things that really demonstrate a growth mindset. Lifted 5 key themes from that, and those were challenges, obstacles, effort, criticism, and the success of others. And it was around how the entrepreneur really interprets that, which showed us a shift in growth mindset. Right at the beginning of the study, people were almost reflecting their mindset on other people. So taking inspiration from other people. They would talk about other figures that are in their life, maybe a mentor, maybe somebody they looked up to. And it was around things like, they started with nothing, or look how far they have come. Very much talking about somebody else. During the study, they highlight the fact that it is a learning process, and looking at other people and saying it just comes naturally to them. But actually, when we looked at the entrepreneurs that we were studying, a lot of them said, well, yeah, this is something that I can learn. It is achievable, and the study actually highlights the fact that there isn't a huge shift on a Likert scale of their growth mindset, because actually the depth of their knowledge and their understanding of it increases as they go through the process, which is really where the study comes into its own because of the measurement of the behaviours. We've seen it so many times, that first ideation when they walk in with their enabler, and everything there is about their business, their personal life, everything that affects their drive is out on a white wall. And there's one aspect of it that they don't want to be asked a question about, and they're asked that question, and it hits them hard, and you can see the face physically drop, and they're drained. But when you roll forward to the closing interviews, they're talking about water off a duck's back, and they're talking about, well, I use that feedback to learn and grow. And that is the pure essence of a growth mindset. We talk about Entrepreneurial Spark about working on your business, not in your business. And if I had £1 for every time an entrepreneur walked through the door and said, I spend far too much time working in my business, the growth mindset and the behavior that's elicited at the end of the program is actually 100%. They zoom out, they take that crow's view of their business. So they can see the direction of travel. They can see what's coming up behind them that might blindside them, and be able to deal with them in a resilient way. The 2 big things that came out of the questionnaire on the mindset piece was criticism and other people's successes. So what that did to affect the behaviour was actually they moved the dials on criticism, being able to take criticism, which led to greater resilience within the business. Mindset versus behaviour. And then other people's successes, viewing them as inspirational and being able to build the confidence off the back of that. So therefore the other people's successes were viewed as building confidence, which is absolutely fantastic to see. Probably at this point, I really want to say thank you to the person who actually created this study and saw it through to completion, because Charlie Ann has been absolutely awesome. And the future of this is to really work with her in collaboration to make sure this is a huge part of the systems and procedures and everyday life at Entrepreneurial Spark, so that we can really affect how we deliver the program in the future.